Okay, well, update. It looks like Corey fell into one of the ruts and he's a little bit high centered here. Good morning and greetings from our tiny cabin here in Escalante, Utah. If you watched the last video, you saw me talk about this place a little bit, but it is super cool. In fact, it's so cool, I have turned my hat backwards to feel just a little bit more youthful. But anyway, we had a great time here last night, but today we're beginning the next leg of our trip. We're heading into Capitol Reef National Park. We're gonna spend the next handful of days exploring and camping and seeing some sights. We've never been there before, so we're super excited to check out this national park and the surrounding land. So stick around and join us. It should be a really fun couple of days. After a quick stop in town to reprovision, we were back on the road, and we were learning that in this part of Utah, postcard-worthy views are so abundant that even the coffee shop we stopped at had us breaking out the camera. Continuing east, our route took us along a road that dropped down into the heart of a deep canyon, where vibrant red rock cliffs towered above us on both sides. You got a copy?
Jeff and I ended up taking a little spur road, and we thought that Corey was right behind us. Turns out he wasn't. So now Corey's lost, and
We've lost Corey.
we are searching for Corey now. So
He's not responding on radio.
yes, not responding on his radio. And yeah, so we're gonna backtrack a little and see if we can find him.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Yay, we found Corey!
On the switchbacks, I'm just like, there's no way this is not on the itinerary, so I might as well go down.
Yeah, you're right. It is on the itinerary. Just a little later in the day. Reunited with Corey, we set off towards our first stop inside Capitol Reef, the Strike Valley Overlook. The first of the trailheads is accessible by all cars and involves a 6-mile hike to the top. Or, if you have a high-clearance 4-wheel drive, you can opt to continue up the trail to the second trailhead, which lessens the hike to only a mile. Pretty cool. So we're heading up the trail and check out this arch right along the trail. Reaching the top gave us our first look at the geologic feature that defines Capitol Reef, the water pocket fold. This 100-mile-long warp in the Earth's crust was formed between 50 and 70 million years ago when a major mountain-building event in western North America reactivated an ancient buried fault in this region. Movement along the fault caused the west side to shift upwards relative to the east side, resulting in a monocline, with rock layers on the west side of the fold having been lifted more than 7,000 feet higher than the layers on the east side. And so, from this overlook, a staggering 150 million years of geologic history is visible. Our first glimpse of Capitol Reef had us eager to push north and venture further into the park. And so, after a quick lunch, we were back in the trucks, where we soon found ourselves descending the famous Burr Trail switchbacks. We were now down in the center of the fold, giving us an entirely different vantage point on this landscape. Soon though, it was time to start looking for a place to set up camp for the night, and doing so led to an unexpected challenge. Let me know if I'm in the middle of that rut. I'm okay.
I think you're okay.
I'm stuck.
Oh.
Okay, well, update. We pulled off the main road to try and find a spur that's kind of tucked in, away from the wind, and huge ruts. And we managed to make it through, but I think Corey might have slipped into one, so he's stuck. So I'm gonna go back here and assess the situation and figure out what we need to do here. That was nasty ruts. Still goopy and muddy too. So not great. We'll see what we got going on back here. So it looks like Corey fell into one of the ruts and he's a little bit high centered here. Okay, so first attempt is going to be just the recovery boards. I think he's too high centered, but we're going to give it a try before we hook up a snatch strap. We'll see.
This is not catching anything, right?
No, you're just too high centered. These tires like basically aren't even on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Plan B is just to do a little pull. We got a snatch strap. We're gonna start off with a real gentle pull and see if that gets him unstuck, and then we'll kind of go from there. I think a little tug will get him undone. We really only need to get him back like a foot and he'll be clear. It's just his diff and his skid plate are hung up, so that's all.
I'm gonna drop the mic so I can operate my car, but let me know when you're ready. Okay, real gentle pull here in 3, 2, 1.
So Jeff was able to get Corey unstuck, and we are now going to try to find camp.
Success. For the record, in our group here, it's the lifted triple lock Tacoma that got stuck first, and the Land Cruiser that bailed him out. But I'm gonna knock on my real wood, my real Yamaha wood, because I don't want to jinx myself. So I don't think we're gonna deal with this spur. There's a spot that tucks up into the rocks there, but very pleasant looking, and there's some dark clouds coming. And part of the problem here with this ground is that if it rains, this is just gonna turn to soup. So.
All right, this is going to be our third attempt to try to find camp. Fingers crossed.
With available options for finding camp dwindling, we backtracked to the final unexplored spur we had passed by in the area. Complicating matters even further was the fact that the wind had picked up significantly, and with the forecast calling for gusts of up to 50 miles per hour, finding a spot that offered some shelter from the wind would be critical.
All right, so our third attempt to find camp was successful. We're tucked behind these big, huge boulders, or they might actually be called something else. Of all the spots that we checked out this afternoon, this hands down, I think, gives us the best protection from the wind because the wind is howling. We're gonna hang out for a little bit, kind of wait this out for about an hour, see how things go before we actually set up camp.
Well, here we are at camp, and you know, it's funny how it goes on these trips sometimes. 2 nights ago at Alstrom Point, we had the perfect campsite and the perfect conditions and one of the most enjoyable camps that I think any of us have ever had. No wind, beautiful weather. And here we are 2 days later, and conditions are just not so favorable. The wind has picked up, it's cooled down, and we have managed to find a very tucked in and sheltered camp, which I'm super, super grateful for. But tonight is really about enduring and making it to tomorrow. And so we're gonna keep it as simple as possible tonight. We're gonna cook up some Mountain House, which I am actually super excited about. I love it. Christine thinks it's the worst thing ever, so I'm kind of excited. She's having beef stroganoff. I'm having chili mac. I'm really looking forward to it.
Then we're supposed to seal it up. My zipper busted.
Why'd your zipper break?
Because I'm very impatient. So we're gonna do 4 minutes.
You're gonna hold it closed the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch me.
5 minutes later.
I'm gonna stir this up.
Remember that time I thought we should just eat it for lunch anyway, just because?
Yeah.
Just
bring it to the office.
Because it's delicious.
We'll eat it for lunch.
It's so good
I was
though.
like, oh my God, no.
Today is my day, Mountain House day. Give me your honest opinion of Mountain House. You can tell me how amazing it is. Not bad. Of course it's not bad. It's the best. It's Mountain House. Underrated. All right, Corey. Raw, unfiltered opinions, the truth of Mountain House. What do you think?
No, it's all right.
He loves it, but he doesn't want to admit it.
It's fine.
Beautiful sunrise this morning over the mountains. It's still quite windy, as I'm sure you can hear. It did die down a little bit last night, which was really nice. It made it a little bit easier to sleep. But as the sun came up this morning, it started to pick up again. So I don't think we're gonna spend too much time here at camp. We've already started breaking down a little bit. And today we're gonna head into Capitol Reef National Park, and we're gonna see some of the things that we feel like we should see because we're right here. And usually we just blow past national parks and we don't ever stop. And we don't want to do that on this trip. So we spent a couple days in Zion. We're gonna spend the majority of today in Capitol Reef and see what we find. So stick around and we'll give you a little tour of what Capitol Reef National Park has to offer.
story of the Fremont people can be told only in questions, not answers. We know a little about the Fremont people's daily lives from collections of precious artifacts, and something about their hearts and minds from their petroglyphs. We know less, almost nothing, about where they came from or why they left suddenly in the 13th century.
Oh, we just got our first glimpse of Cassidy Arch off in the distance. We're getting close and the trail's flattened out, so I think we're almost there, but man, what a beautiful trail. Capitol Reef is gorgeous. I'm honestly surprised that there's not more people here, especially after being in Zion where it's just a zoo. This place is almost empty, so it's pretty great. So we made it to the top of Cassidy Arch.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
I think this was a pretty cool hike. Not as bad as I thought it would be. And other than it being really windy, like the views are amazing. And the arch here, stellar. Worth the effort to get up here.
Agreed. All right, time to go back down?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So we just finished our hike, and this is our reward. Look at that. Fresh baked pies in the national park. This is mixed berry. What'd you get?
Strawberry rhubarb.
Strawberry rhubarb.
And ice cream.
So this is, been looking forward to this. The whole way down on the hike. I was just like, I just gotta get to the bottom because there's pie down there. It's good. I'm not a pie connoisseur, but it tastes like pie. It's good. I like it. So your review is thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right, we'll take it. Compared to Zion, Bryce, and Arches, Capitol Reef is one of Utah's more overlooked national parks. But with breathtaking views, scenic hikes, surprisingly few people, and most importantly, fresh pie, a day spent in a national park can't get much better than this. Or can it?